The Chinese stock market has fallen a long way recently, but that isn't China's real problem. The real problem is overbuilding. I don't believe that it was malice or incompetence that led to these issues. Sometimes people try their best and do what conventional wisdom tells them is best, and they just end up in a bad place. China, quite simply, has built more than they need. If you build a building today that you would normally have built in a year or so, then you pulled forward jobs and GDP to now that would have normally occurred later. So you'll have greater reported GDP now, but you'll be left with an air pocket for down the track. The risk is that this overbuilding is eventually recognised, that real estate prices fall and building stops and can't be re-stimulated. That may be happening now. If not, it surely can't be too many years away, given the imbalances. There is an argument that they could stop building in China today, and even with 10 years of urbanisation, still not fill the apartments they have already built. There is such a big focus on GDP in China that such a dramatic pullback in building would be seen as a disaster. As Ray Dalio points out in his Economic Machine video, and I do in my book, big changes in GDP growth can lead to social unrest and even war. There are no great options from here. If you have already built too much, then re-stimulating in the hope of building more can't be the answer. Nor, obviously, would be knocking down existing buildings and rebuilding. There must be a better way forward than that. Obviously, they are looking to transition to a services-led economy. But with a decrease in wages to the building industry, it is hard to see them spending enough. So what are they to do? I believe that China needs to measure success differently, to almost forget about GDP and to measure what really matters to people. There are no shortage of aerial pictures of ghost towns in China. The striking thing to me about these towns is the beauty of some of them, the magnificent buildings, the artistry of the layouts. Let's imagine that instead of building new apartments, that people came and occupied those apartments. From a GDP perspective, this lack of building would look terrible. But that can't be the metric that counts. These people would have had a step up in their quality of life as they move into these quality apartments. Yes, there will be less work around. Maybe everyone needs to work a few less hours every week so that everyone else can have a job. But again, is that all bad? To have more leisure time. The measure of a good life, a quality life, has to be more than how fast you can run on a hamster wheel. Now, I don't pretend to have all the answers for China, and any chill they experience could lead to a mini ice age in Australia. So I certainly hope that they are wonderfully successful. But measuring the wrong thing seldom leads to the right outcome. This is the part of the world that brought us Zen and Confucianism. With so much wisdom, it would be a shame if they came to a substandard outcome by being driven by measures of success that are only a century old and that are yet to be fully fine-tuned and to stand the test of time. Ultimately, it will be the people of China that will decide which path China follows. If they value GDP as the ultimate measure, I believe that they will be disappointed and that this could lead to unrest. My hope is that they look at what they have built, admire it for what it is, occupy those empty buildings and measure the things that matter, the improvement in quality of life that comes from this. And if they ask their leaders to help them along this path, I'm sure they will oblige. I'm Damien Lillycrab. These views are mine as an author, not necessarily my employer's. To find out more about me, my book, and more detail on this message, head to my website, barenakedeconomist.com.